Yo, tapping in real quick for this UFC fight night. Renato Moicano versus Benoit Denis taking place in Paris, France. And this video right here, this is the full card breakdown and predictions. I'll do my absolute best as not to hold your ear hostage for too long. Let's go ahead and dive into it. Now, that first fight of the night, that's women's MMA. But not only is it women's MMA, but it's a rematch for these two young women. Now, me personally, I'm going to go ahead and side with the slight dog and Nora Cornoli to be the one to get this one done via split decision. Her one loss comes via being on the wrong side of a decision to Jacqueline, and in my personal opinion, in this matchup, Jacqueline's going to be the one on the wrong side of the decision, setting these ladies up for a rubber match somewhere down the road, later on in their careers. You understand what I'm saying to you? It very much is what it is, man. I like the evolvement that I've seen from Nora since their last matchup, more so than what I've seen from Jacqueline and the individuals that Nora has had to fight since their matchup, more so than the individuals that Jacqueline has had to fight, especially with the win over Jocelyn Edwards. In my personal opinion, that is a very respectable win for this level of opposition of these young women. You understand what I'm saying to you? So it is what it is, man. Like I said, first fight of the night, women's MMA, question marks from both sides. Very much shouldn't be wrapped up in anybody's main plays, bets, or parlays. But Nora will be the pick to kick this card off with a slight dog to go ahead and bark. Now, Ludovic Klein against Roosevelt Roberts. This is Ludovic Klein all day, every day, even on Sunday, in my personal opinion, and there's not a whole lot to discuss, as I just believe that Ludovic Klein is levels above Roosevelt Roberts. He is hands down the all-around better mixed martial artist who will undeniably produce the better body of work over the course of 15 minutes, man. I've tried multiple times and just cannot find a way that Roosevelt Roberts walks away victorious from a matchup with Ludovic Klein. So it is what it is. Very much, what the money line suggests as well, with him being like a minus 670 or something right now, which is absolutely ridiculous. So it's not a whole lot you could do with him with that price tag, but he is the pick. Oki versus Duncan. I'm on Oki in this one to get it done in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And I'm talking about he is an individual that can get it done anywhere the fight goes. And in my personal opinion, he can get this one done via KO, TKO, by clipping and disconnecting Chris Duncan from his consciousness to get him out of there, inside the distance. He could, slip in a submission on a club and sub type situation, or he could just search for the submission, slip it in, and get him out of there inside the distance via submission, or just produce the better all-around body of work over the course of 15 minutes for the unanimous decision. So, very much on the Oki side of things. Ion versus Ivan, I want absolutely nothing to do with this fight, but just for the, just out of spite, I'm going to go ahead and rock with Ivan, because I don't like anything about Ion Cutelaba. I never have. You understand what I'm saying to you? The body of work that he's been able to produce, or the lack thereof, you know what I mean? You come in there with your face painted, your whole body painted. I mean, you screaming in individuals' faces. I mean, old boy takes it to the extremes just to go out there and get submitted or knocked the fuck out in minutes. You know what I mean? Like, I've never been high on that guy in any way, shape, form, or fashion, man. And nobody, absolutely nobody, will sway me in his direction. You know what I mean? It will always be a fade on him. So give me Ivan over Ion just because. You know what I mean? Umar over Jung. I'm on Umar's side, man. He's minus 400, so he's, getting to be later on this week and next week. He will be outside of that betting and parlaying, comfort zone for me. But right now at minus 400, I very much have parlayed him up. You know what I'm talking about? Again, I just don't see a night where Jung is able to secure a victory against Umar Sy. I believe Umar Sy is just going to absolutely be too much for him. You know what I'm talking about? Daniel versus Victor, another fight that I want absolutely nothing to do with. You know what I mean? Two individuals that I want absolutely nothing to do with, man. But for the sake of a pick, I guess give me Vic. You know what I mean? Give me Victor Altamirano to get this one done in some way, shape, form, or fashion. You know what I mean? Not exactly sure how that's going to happen, but for the sake of a pick, he is a pick. But I want absolutely nothing to do with this fight. Not in a haymaker, not in a Hail Mary, not in a prelim, not in anything. Leave this shit alone. Same with that Ion and Ivan. You know what I mean? I don't want anything to do with either one of those fights, man. You know what I'm talking about? Aylin versus Dara. I don't know if I'm saying her name correctly or not, but you can give me Aylin. Women's MMA. You know what I'm talking about? I do very much have question marks from both sides, as I'm not high on either one of these individuals. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. For the sake of a pick, we're going to rock with Aylin. You know what I mean? So far, we got Nora to kick the card off as a slight dog and bark. Then we got Klein, Oki, Ivan, I believe is probably a dog against Ion, Umar, and Victor, and Aylin. You know what I mean? So on to Morgan versus Gabriel. I'm all over Morgan here, you know what I mean, to be the one to get this one done. Most likely by unanimous decision, man. If this fight finishes inside the distance, then more times than not, it's because Gabriel caught, clipped, and disconnected Morgan from his consciousness and got him out of there inside the distance via KO, TKO, because Gabe can crack. He does have pop in his shots, and he has proven that he can be fucking dangerous. You know what I'm talking about? But the all-around body of work, the volume, the strikes landed, you know, the movement, I give all of that. You know what I mean? The speed, I give all of that. The diversity, I give all of that to Morgan. You know what I mean? So he very much should walk away from this matchup victorious. I don't think it's going to be via a finish in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I think it's going to be via unanimous decision. But maybe he does find a finish. He's another individual who's over the -500 mark, though. He's like -530, so it's not a whole lot you can do with him. Kevin Jawset versus Brian Battle. I'm on Brian Battle to go ahead and get this one done in some way, shape, form, or fashion, whether that's clipping and disconnecting Kevin Jawset from his consciousness to get it via KO, TKO, or a club and sub type situation, or just a submission because he gets him down to the ground, aggressively searches for it, finds it, sinks it in, locks it up, and, you know, secures the victory that way. This is a different Brian Battle, man. His physical physique looks a hell of a lot different. This boy is packing more pop. He seems to be a hell of a lot more physically imposing inside that octagon these days, man. And when you just look at him, the face, the neck, the body, it's changed. You know what I'm talking about? It very much has changed, and he's a fucking problem right now. You know what I mean? And I think he gets Kevin Jaw set up out of there. Imavov versus Allen. Give me Allen, man. Give me Allen, man. Give me Allen to work in that motherfucking, work in that wrestling. And, you know, work in that grappling with the striking. Keep it competitive, but not play around too much on the feet. Sink in that, you know, sink in that submission and get him out of there via submission inside the distance. I can see Brendan Allen finding that submission late in the third. I mean, late in the second or somewhere in the third to get Imavov out of there inside the distance via submission. I could also see Imavov catching, clipping, and disconnecting Brendan Allen from his consciousness if he's a bit too reckless in his pursuit for the takedowns. You know what I'm talking about? But Brendan Allen's going to be the pick. Zaim over Frivola, with all due respect to the steamroller, Matt Frivola. I'm on Zaim, man. Everything about Zaim. His resume, his wins, his losses, his body of work that he's been able to produce, man. You know what I mean? I know Frivola's been against some gats. You know what I mean? I know he's been up against some decent level of opposition. But I just like the Zaim side of things, man. And he's a slight dog. I think Frivola's only route to victory in this matchup would be catching, clipping, and disconnecting Zaim from his consciousness, knocking him out, steamrolling him. You know what I'm talking about? I don't think he wants to play too much in the wrestling and grappling departments. Zaim will use those long limbs to his advantage and lock up a submission in some way, shape, form, or fashion, in my personal opinion. But outside of that, I just see him doing a better body of work over the course of 15 minutes to get this one via unanimous decision. Possibly, you know, if Fivola's down going into that third round and he just starts, you know, recklessly and aggressively pursuing the finish because that's what he needs to do to win it. Maybe Zaim can catch, clip, and disconnect him to get him out of there via KO, TKO inside the distance. But I see Zaim just doing a better body of work, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's all there is to it, man. I like Matt, you know what I'm saying? But he's got to starch him. I don't think he wants to play the wrestle game too much because I think Zaim will, you know, snatch up a submission. I think it plays out on the feet for the most part until it doesn't, you know what I mean? But I just like Zaim, man. And he's a slight dog right now. I don't necessarily believe he'll be a dog later on this week. Definitely not next week. Gomes versus Brito. Give me Gomes, man. Give me Gomes. I know Joe Anderson Brito's a beast. I know he's a savage, man. You understand what I'm saying to you? But I think Gomes is gonna slow this one down. Now I'm talking about the reach is pretty much the same with Gomes having maybe an inch on the reach, so nothing really to talk about there. But the height advantage will very much come into play with Brito. I think it's like 5'8", and Gomes is around 6 feet. And Gomes likes to use those teeps. He likes to use those kicks to keep individuals at bay. He does very much so know how to slow a fight down. You know what I'm talking about? And implement his game plan, man. So I know William Gomes is a sizable underdog on this card and in this matchup, but I'm rocking with him, man, to get this one done via unanimous or split decision. If not, don't be surprised if he finds the finish inside a distance via submission in his own right. You know what I'm talking about? William Gomes is very solid, man. He's very well-rounded, and he can be very fucking dangerous if you sleep on him. And he very much can use those long limbs, them long legs, those long arms to his advantage in the jiu-jitsu department. You know what I'm talking about? Renato Moicano versus Benoit Saint Denis. I'm rocking with Benoit Saint Denis, man. There's nothing overly impressive about Renato Moicano. He is not a very durable individual. I think we all saw him basically lose that motherfucking fight to Kevin Holland, but Jalen Turner, but Jalen Turner like a dingbat walked the fuck off. Blew me. That shit popped me that night when he walked off like that, man. Come on, man. After this man got you down and everything it took for you to get the fuck back up off of that ground, you was supposed to follow up and try to put that motherfucker's head through the octagon, make that shit bounce off the mat. There was no way you was supposed to just try to walk off like that, you know what I mean? But with that being said, man, and Jalen has some pop in his shots, man, but Renato Moicano has been cracked by quite a few individuals, man, and not necessarily finished right away, you know what I mean, but hurt, man, and put into some compromisable positions. He's not the most durable individual. He's not the most dangerous individual. He's very solid and he's very well-rounded, man. And as of lately, he's learned how to use his money Moicano mouth, you know what I mean? But it's not gonna do nothing for him here, man. It's not gonna do nothing for him here. His little run is coming to an end. It should have came to an end with Jalen Turner, but he fumbled that bag. You know what I'm talking about? Very much is what it is, man. Benoit Saint Denis to get Renato Moicano out of there inside the distance. It's not going 25 minutes, and Renato Moicano's not winning. Again, very much all just my personal opinion. You know what I'm talking about? Now, I'm going to go fire this up. My oldest is out there in the TV room with my youngest. She just came upstate, you know what I'm talking about, for a little bit, so we ready to chop it up, man. But real quick, I'm rocking with the dog to kick the card off and bark. You know what I'm talking about? Laura Cornoli. Her only loss comes via being on the wrong side of a decision to Jacqueline. And in my personal opinion, Jacqueline's going to be on the wrong side of a decision in this fight, setting these two young women up for a rubber match down the road later on in their careers. You understand what I'm saying to you? So we rocking with Nora to kick the card off. That's one dog. We rocking with Klein, Oki, and Ivan for the sake of a pick. I think that's two dogs. And Umar, Victor, Aylin, Morgan, Battle, and then Allen as a dog. So that's three dogs. Zaim's a slight dog. That's four dogs. Gomes is a dog. That's five dogs. And Benoit St. Denis. So on a 13-fight card, right? On a 13-fight card, I got five dogs to bark and pop the fuck off, man. You know what I mean? Five dogs, 8 favorites, 13-fight card. Not too far off from a possibility. You know what I mean? And in my personal opinion, it is a very, very, very strong possibility. But that's that with that, man. From bottom to top, it's Nora, Klein, Oki, Ivan, Umar, Victor, Aileen, Morgan, Battle, Allen, Zaim, Gomes, and St. Denis. And for anybody that didn't catch the little 60-second clip I posted, I've already made two three-leg parlays, a 4-leg parlay, and a Hail Mary toss. You know what I'm talking about? And it was Umar Sai, Benoit St. Denis, and Zaim at plus 252. Then it was Umar Sai, Benoit St. Denis, and Brian Battle at plus 184. Then Umar Sai, Benoit St. Denis, Brian Battle, and Zaim at plus 487. And then my Hail Mary, not a haymaker, my Hail Mary, 10 legs. Looks like Umar Sai, Benoit St. Denis, Brian Battle, Zaim, Ludovic Klein, Morgan Shorey, Aline, Gomes, Nora, and Allen at plus 24,402. That is very much my Hail Mary. You know what I'm talking about? But I am highly confident in those 2-3 legs and that 4-leg in Umar, Benoit, and Zaim at plus 252, Umar, Benoit, and Battle at plus 184, and Umar, Benoit, Battle, and Zaim at plus 487. I am highly confident in all of those, and fuck, man, they all gonna smack. You know what I'm talking about? They all gonna smack. That's that with that. That's the full card breakdown and predictions. I did a little 60-second predictions. I posted a 3-leg, 4-leg, and a Hail Mary toss already. And I'm going to get these individual, quick picks out the way here shortly. And then I'll tap back in with some more early bird parlays, man. I appreciate all y'all for tapping in. Peace and blessings.